Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Natalie. I am the Community Engagement Coordinator, and I'm excited to give you an in-depth look at our newest module, the adult version of me. So today's training is designed to walk you through all assets involved with the adult version of the Earning Money module. My main objective is that you leave the webinar today feeling well-equipped with the tools needed to facilitate this module with confidence. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the GoToWebinar platform, it is interactive, so you can send in your questions at any time through the chat box located in the panel to the right of your screen. I will pause at the end of the webinar to allow designated time for a Q&A. So I will be giving a demo of the module today, but first I'd like to go over some details on the module. Let's begin with a brief description. So in Money and Me, participants are introduced to the relationship between emotions and money. After identifying their financial strengths and weaknesses, participants can make personal finance goals for themselves. When participants become more aware of their relationship with money and their financial personality, they have a much better understanding of how their values inform their decisions and actions. Thus, participants become empowered to develop a plan and act on their goals to become financially healthy. Participants explore their financial personality in depth and make connections between their values and their actions and behaviors. This module strongly encourages self-reflection to foster awareness of personal experiences with money while building self-empowerment. Money and Me is also a really great way to showcase some goals, and this is highlighted through the purpose, which is to initiate self-reflection and critical analysis of the participants' relationship to money and how finance impacts their emotions. So the goal is for participants to achieve three main objectives by identifying personal values, beliefs, and attitudes toward finances, recognize the relationship between emotions and money, and also to reflect on their strengths and weaknesses with regard to their financial knowledge and skills. Participants will be using a variety of skills, in particular the importance of money. Sorry, I just realized I got them backwards. So the topics are actually the importance of money, the values and attitudes, money and emotions, and personal finance goals. And these are what we will be going over in the module demo itself. So Hub modules use the following key elements in its curriculum design, which you are seeing now on your screen. So the best way to showcase these elements is through a demo of the module. So let's make our way over to the Hub platform. Great, so we're gonna go ahead into the Adult Learning portal. So if your client is a participant in the Ontario Justice Facility, you will select that portal. However, the community portal should be selected if otherwise. Both Money and Me module, we just like to have these referral paths so that we can better collect data on Hub usage. So we're going to go into the finances theme today. This theme can be a helpful resource for adults at all different stages of financial well-being. Any updates for future themes and modules will be featured on our monthly newsletters, but for the purpose of today's session, we will only be using the financial literacy modules. Actually, before we dive into the module, I also want to draw your attention to the theme guide. So the theme guide will cover everything you need to know about why we offer skill building in finances, as well as what your goals as the facilitator are when delivering the module. Great. So let's go ahead into the Money and Me module. Now, if you do have an iPad, you are welcome to follow along, but I will also be sharing the module on my screen if you would prefer to watch. Great. So we always begin the Hub module with an introduction page. And we do this by introducing the participant to what they will learn throughout the process in the module. We also begin our module with a check-in or a dialogue prompt. So this helps participants get acquainted with the facilitator or with other participants if there are more than one. I also find that it helps them get acquainted to the content themselves. We always begin with some rules of engagement as well. So these are completely fillable fields that will help the user brainstorm what the rules are of the module in terms of sharing, creating an open space, having a non-judgmental space as well. And we also include some suggestions if you want to prompt the user to get going. Here we are introduced to journal moments. So these prompt the user to reflect on the content they are learning as they go along. So you'll see a handful of these throughout each Hub module. Following the demo, I'll also show you the corresponding journal in which they can answer the questions if they choose to do so on paper. Great, and here we go over why money is important. Now, you will see in this module a number of interactions that the user is able to have on the screen. Here they're able to begin reflecting on the importance of finances. So again, these fields are also fillable and they will be saved on the page until the user exits the program. So if they do want to go back and take a look, they can absolutely do so. Great, and this is my favorite part. So this module includes a mindfulness practice to provide participants with an opportunity to resource themselves and bring awareness back to the learning environment. So this is the calming breath meditation. We have a bit of time, so let's go ahead and do this all together. So to begin, let's sit in a comfortable seated position. Great. So these next few pages include interactive visuals that allow users to reflect and see more objectively what their thoughts are on the topic of personal finance. We have some more interactive and fillable fields. And of course, we go into what financial literacy is before diving into the relationship between emotions and money. So we're going to jump ahead to explore the topics of the module. Each topic usually begins with a visual reflection, informational content, and it usually follows an activity. So I won't go through each and every topic since we would be here for a while. So let's explore the emotions theme together. That one is my favorite one. Another activity we've included is a true or false quiz. This promotes engagement for the participants and helps them reflect on their learning as they go along. Now, of course, there are no right or wrong answers. This is just an activity that is very specific for whoever is taking the module. Of course, we have another wonderful journal moment. This is when the user can either turn to their corresponding journal or they can share answers out loud with the facilitator. So I would suggest you as a facilitator will explain to them that they have options here. They can even keep it to themselves if they want to reflect on it alone. Great. And then we also end the final page with a quote. We have a wonderful quote here by Barry Tesler that reads, "When you bring healing, humanity, and smarts to your money with relationship, the benefits ripple out of every area of your life." Now, the same way that we have a check-in at the beginning of the module, we also end with a check-out so that the user is able to reflect on how they might feel after the session. Great. So I just wanted to give you a visual of what the module looks like itself, but now we will begin to go into the rules that you have as a facilitator. And just a friendly reminder that whenever you do finish a module, you have to just record how many participants there were and what their referral path is. This is just a way that we better collect data on hub usage. So now that we're at the main dashboard again, let's go over the resources that you have as a facilitator. So let's begin with the journal. The journal is accessed through the adult learning portal, and you would access it the same way you would access a module. So you go into the module portion, you select the module that you're going to complete, and then I'll draw your attention to the green text to the left of the module card, and you'll select the language and to the journal. So these journals are available to assist with the participation and self-reflection. These journals correspond with the journal moment pages that I previously showed. They are in PDF format, so they're easy to save, share, and print. These journals are totally not mandatory, so participants don't have to complete them, but they do provide a lot of insight and a lot of really great questions that go into your values, your attitudes, and where you are in your financial journey. So we do highly recommend that facilitators encourage the user to complete them. Great. At the end of the journal, we always add an area for notes. And if they'd like to color while they're, learning the content, that usually promotes learning and focus and self-reflection. So now that we've gone over the journal, we will access the facilitator guide, which is arguably the most useful tool for the facilitator. So this is actually accessed through the professional development portal. So before you deliver a module, we recommend you go into the professional development portal so that you, as a facilitator, have the ability to practice the module and also access the guide. So it's located in the same place where the journal is, the bottom left-hand corner in green. So the Facilitator Guide is a PDF that is detail-oriented and focuses on the module that you're about to deliver. They go page by page and give instructions and discussion points. There is also some research and best practices integrated for a foolproof way for you to deliver a hub module. So here in the beginning, they go over everything that I showed you through the PowerPoint in the beginning, including the description, the goals, the purpose, the topics, and the key elements, just so you have a better understanding of why we have the module that we do. And we also have a page-by-page script. So this is a really wonderful resource that allows you to deliver content. You are welcome to follow the page-by-page script fully, but you're also able to, put a personal spin on it if you do find that makes you more comfortable. Great. And then I'm also going to draw your attention to the last page of the module guide. So this is a really useful part here that I find. It's really important to encourage participation from everyone in the group. We also want to remind participants to listen carefully to whoever is sharing. No interrupting or cross-talking. And it's also important to remind participants that they're free to pass if they do not feel like so. This goes for the check-in and the check-out, but also really anything throughout the module that encourages participation. We want to make the user feel really comfortable. Great, so that covers our learning objective for today's training. I will now take a moment to pause for questions and comments. Again, feel free to write any questions that you may have in the question bar off to the right. Okay, so the question reads, are the journals for in class only or to take back? So this is a great question, and it is totally up to you as a facilitator. We do recommend that the participant is able to keep the journal, but if this is doable for you or not doable for you, that is totally your call. Okay, great. So thank you so much for joining me today for the first session out of the 2 sessions. So again, tomorrow's session will be covering the earning money module, which goes a little more into depth into financial literacy goals and planning. The meeting will be at 10 a.m. and I'm looking forward to seeing you all there. If you do have any questions, the Money and Me module in particular, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will leave my name, number, and email up on the screen for a couple minutes just in case you want to write it down. But otherwise, have a wonderful day.